So by now, you probably will have heard the news that Sports Interactive and Sega have taken the difficult decision to cancel FM25. Is it a disappointment? Yes, it is. Is it expected? Not by me personally, and a few other people that I know. We fully expected this game to get released. But to some of those people out there that had already taken the hint, it obviously wasn't that big of a shock to those people. But if we scratch that itch and look a bit further back down the line, maybe the writing was on the wall a bit further away than we thought. Looking back to some of the blogs that Miles had put out for FM23, and the first time he ever revealed that we were going to be switching away from the current game engine to Unity, he had said that there was a project put aside to try and build this brand new game, and in 2020 they already knew that they were going to be on Unity. Obviously, 2020 was a difficult year with COVID and everything that happened, and ultimately it looks like they had to take those resources away to give us a game such as FM23 and 24 to make sure that they were delivering the content then to prevent what's happening now happening back then. Obviously, as time has gone along, they have chosen Unity as their match engine and their game engine. It's difficult to say whether they looked at it on the surface and thought, yes, the step to Unity is 100% the right one. And then as soon as they got their hands on Unity and building this game, they realised pretty quickly, hold on, this is a massive step. And the reason that I say that is because Miles had already put out some blogs where he had said, when we look at FM25, we're asking big questions. Would we do this again? Would we do this differently? Are there different things we could do? The questions were already being asked at that point in the development, and it's probably going to be revealed at some point, or maybe never revealed, but I firmly believe that it could be revealed at some point that this game was probably struggling even before FM24 was released, because when FM24 was released, off the back of the disappointment of FM23 when people didn't get what they want and there was no updated match engine, there was no updated new gen faces, and you could obviously see that something wasn't right, and we were getting, in the words of some people out there, a patched game year on year on year, and weren't really adding anything to it. Sports Interactive were feeling the pressure at that point to really make sure that when they switched from 24 to 25 and to that Unity engine, that everything was polished, everything was perfect. And it obviously has taken them a long time to come to grips with the fact that this is difficult to do and we don't know if we can do it. Now, this obviously leads us to the Botched launch earlier on in 2024. Was it, in hindsight, a good thing to release a trailer where we only saw screenshots of work in progress screenshots? Probably not. Was it good of them to release a release date of November 26th and give us all hope that they were much further down the line in this development than what they actually were? Probably not. I'm not going to go in too hard on them because they obviously have our best interests at heart. A lot of people out there will disagree with that and say they are just money grabbing and it's all about making profits. I firmly believe that Miles is a good guy on the surface. Take him at face value, and everything he says seems really genuine. And he's sitting there somewhere today as you watch this thinking to himself, what have we done? How have we done this? And I'm pretty sure he's a resilient enough character just by seeing him on social media and the way he deals with things and the way he is as a person. He will now put 100% effort into bouncing this series back. And when FM26 does drop, I'm pretty sure that we are going to be blown away with what they can achieve. But the problem here now is, can they be a bit more transparent? Because back when they were saying it was going to be released in November, they weren't transparent at all. And Miles was referenced for saying transparency in a previous blog. So at this point now, I feel that if they are struggling to get this game released for a normal FM26 release date, which would be in November, now is the time to tell people we are still struggling. Sega, off the back of the Sega Sammy thing, seem to know that there is difficulties in getting this game together. And there is a few quotes that show that they are committed to Football Manager as a brand. They want to grow their European market through Football Manager. They obviously have invested a lot of money in Sports Interactive across the years. And that trust that has been built up across those years is still there because they are going to be the people that are going to be building this game come hell or high water. But they cannot afford to get this wrong again. So, with that being said, FM25 is now cancelled. We have another couple of months of looking at FM24 and thinking about what could have been for FM25. I firmly believe that this is not the time to jump in on Sports Interactive. Now, I am not one of the big accounts out there. I am not a big YouTuber by any means, and I certainly have no affiliation to Miles or Sports Interactive at all. I've never been invited to Sports Interactive Studios. I have never been involved in the game for beta testing. I have never signed an NDA. But all I'm saying is that these people are human beings. Just like me, just like you watching this, they are humans. And as I've already referenced, Miles is already sat there somewhere thinking about how he has failed this fan base. So please, the one thing I'm going to ask, don't just jump in on people like Miles. I've seen ridiculous posts on social media calling for his head, saying he's a failure. This is a guy that I think, and this is just my opinion, I think he's put his heart and soul into not only this brand, this series, but in football in general. He has done so many good things to build this brand and this game to where it is today. I think we should all be a bit more thankful and look at it as there would be no football manager in this capacity without a person like Miles and the team he has built at Sports Interactive. So I'm going to finish this video by saying one thing. I am looking forward to FM26 regardless of what's happened with FM25. But please, find it in your heart to be kind. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. I look forward to what's to come.